Working my way from the back to the front. I'm going to try to make this quick so it's not super long. I got some corn and green beans, some more avocado spray and avocado oil. I did get some marinara sauce, and this is the Kirkland brand, and I wanted to show you the ingredients because for the most part they're pretty good and they're a lot cheaper than the Rayo's brand. So I got some maple syrup, I got some taco seasoning, almond butter, and some creamy peanut butter for the kids. I got some more pesto sauce because we really enjoyed the pesto chicken that we did. Better than bouillon beef. Moving over here, I got some Del Real, some salsa verde and regular salsa. I got some organic chicken sausages for breakfast. Yogurt, chunky guacamole. This is another really clean buy from Costco. We got some macadamia nuts, which have been opened already. Some romaine lettuce and siete chips. I got my daughter some strawberry spread for her PB&Js. Of course, hamburger patties. They had a good buy on asparagus and squash and broccoli florets, so I went ahead and bought those as well. I got some breads and some English muffins for breakfast sandwiches. Again, sourdough bread. They had a really good deal for the Catalina Crunch cereal. These were only $13. I also got some popcorn and these jumbo beef balls that were really good. And I picked up some bacon and ham that I will be using in a quiche later. So with this large grocery haul, I knew with all the food that I had in my refrigerator that I couldn't fit everything in there. And so I thought it would be a good idea to deep clean it. It's been a good 6 months since I've taken everything out of my refrigerator and gave it a good clean. So I know that there's probably items in here that's expired. So this is definitely a great time to go through all of your items, check their expiration date, and that way you can make a list of like groceries and meal prepping based on items that are getting ready to spoil. And I can also get rid of some leftover containers that we've had in the refrigerator that probably shouldn't be in here. And a great opportunity to get rid of duplicate items. And once I take everything out, I'm going to go through them, separate them. The things that need to be cold, I will store away in an ice box with some ice and all of my ice packs. And all the other things can just sit out on the counter because they're not going to be out too long. And then I will sort them between items that I'm going to keep and items I'm going to get rid of. Here is everything from my refrigerator. I'm going to pull away everything that needs to stay cold. Then I'll go through and separate the expired food from everything that we're going to keep and pull all the drawers out and get cleaning. Okay, this is what our refrigerator looks like, completely empty. We'll start where the milk is. We had some spills. And just where the condiments are, they just need to be, you know, get a good cleaning. Up top, got some spills, yogurts and such. I typically keep my eggs and small leftovers right here. So this one's not too bad, but there are some things. And the bottom shelf. The drawers are what needs the most attention, I think. Especially this one. This is where I keep a lot of the produce. And underneath, I don't know if you can see that. Let's go this way. Let's see. I don't know. Anyways, there is some ickies under there. So we're gonna take it all apart. This is my water area. Definitely need to clean that. And so that's the top part, and then opening the bottom part, this just needs a good wipe down and vacuuming.
is the icky spill. Yuck.
And before I start scrubbing, I want to vacuum everything really well and make sure I get all the little bits and kind of just pieces of small food that's kind of trapped in the back or underneath your drawers, because if you don't do this step and you start scrubbing, you're kind of just going to push that all around and make a giant mess. The easiest and most effective way for me to clean my refrigerator is just using the Dawn Power Spray. And I like using that in combination with my Scrub Mommy sponge. That combo together really helps pick up all the dirt and grime and kind of sticky bits that's all over the glass. And so I was originally trying to figure out how I can take these metal dividers out of my drawer, but I couldn't figure it out, so I decided just to take the whole thing out and wash it in the sink. And
Ooh, it's all sticky.
oh my gosh, I had no idea that this big spill was under here, because I don't know the last time I took that drawer out, and it was so hard but very sticky. I don't even know what that was. And so what I ended up doing is getting 2 towels and running them under really, really hot water and then laying them on top of it and hoping that it would kind of loosen up that sticky bit. And I just let it sit there, and I moved on to this mess, which looking back at it was like the easiest mess to clean up out of the entire project. This is pretty simple because I can lift up that center divider and get under there. And so I'm just wiping that off and wiping away all of the Dawn that I used to scrub all the shelves with. This glass does come out, but it's really hard. There's 2 tabs at the back that I have to lift up, and you have to use like a butter knife and be careful not to scratch the glass or break it. And so I try not to remove it, but unfortunately, because it does come out and it's not sealed, things get pushed underneath there that's sitting on top. And so I'm just trying to like push it down underneath it, push the towel underneath the glass so that I can try to clean in that kind of crack, if you will. And then after I was done with that, I decided to go ahead and check how the towels are doing, see if they need to be refreshed, and I needed to bring out the big guns. It did work. The towels did loosen up a lot of it, but I had to pull out my steamer and steam away the rest of it. And I ended up using my scrubbing attachment, which really saved the day. I was able to get into all the little creases and clean a lot of the stickiness out of it. This really helped a lot. And then I couldn't reach my arm far enough back, so I had to crawl underneath the drawer and kind of curl up in there, if you will. So, you know, when you're cleaning your stuff, you just do what you got to do, right? But it got the job done. So much better. After having my refrigerator open and using my steamer, I needed to close the doors and let my refrigerator cool back down a little bit before I put my food in there. And so I closed up all the doors and I headed over to my sink so that I can wash my shelves and the doors and the insert to the middle drawer. And then I will restock my refrigerator with everything and reorganize it. I left that entire clip in there so that you can see that the struggle really is real sometimes. But now that all of my drawers and shelves and everything is nice and clean, here is the after. All nice and squeaky clean, no crumbs, no sticky bits. Now it's time to move on to the freezer. And when cleaning your freezer, the process is pretty much the same thing. You take out your food or your items, remove your drawers, clean that, and then put it back in. I just saved this step for last because I do have frozen meats in here and I wanted it to be out in as little time as possible. So because I'm working in my freezer, I decided not to use soap, but rather use the steamer just to help push off all the frozen bits and spills that were on the drawers and on the bottom of the freezer, only because I didn't want the soap to start to get cold and not really work. This worked really well. I just worked fast and it didn't really heat up my freezer too bad. It was able to come back down in temperature quite quickly, and like I said, it worked really well. I also had another spill back here. I don't know what was going on with my refrigerator. It really was our fault, but I don't know what was going on. I had a lot of spills during this cleanup. I normally don't have this many, but the steamer worked really well and it was able to clean everything up. And here is everything, all nice and organized. And since I had everything out to clean my refrigerator, I looked over at my oven and thought, well, shoot, I might as well just clean this too. So I walked right over here and just decided to give the top of my stove a nice scrubbing. I'm wrapping up this cleaning session by putting my stove back together again and washing all of the dishes that I pulled out of my refrigerator. Unfortunately, there was a lot. I was a little bit disappointed in that, but that's okay. And I want to have a nice clean countertop and kitchen so that I can go ahead and get started in making my breakfast quiche, which unfortunately is the only food prep item that I have for this video because I spent quite a bit of time putting all of this away and cleaning my refrigerator.
It is now the evening time and I am getting started on my breakfast quiche. This is Sunday evening. I wanted to have this ready for the weekday so that I have something nice and protein filled for the week mornings. I started out by preheating my oven to 350 degrees. During dinner this evening, I had my son peel and grate the potatoes. So I gave him 4 large potatoes to peel and grate. I rinsed them and then drained them. And then to this mixture, I just added some avocado oil, salt, pepper, and a little bit of nutritional yeast just for some added flavor. And then to my quiche pan, I'm going to go ahead and spread some butter around it just so that the potatoes don't stick. And then I will dump the potatoes into the pan and press them against the edges. This will make a nice potato crust. You could also do this with sweet potatoes. That's also very, very good. And if you do make it with sweet potatoes, I recommend, if your stomach can handle it, making a spicier quiche, because the contrast between the sweet potatoes and the spicy quiche, it just plays well with each other. And I baked it in the oven at 350 for about 30 minutes to get it nice and crunchy. And while that's baking, I diced up 1 cup of ham, half of a orange bell pepper, half of a green bell pepper, and about 1/4 of a yellow onion. And I'm going to go ahead and add all this to the skillet and heat it up so that it's kind of tender and gets a lot of the juices out. While I let the toppings cook on the skillet, I'm going to go ahead and crack 9 eggs into my bowl so that I can make my egg mixture. I like to add Greek yogurt to my mixture. I think it adds a very nice creamy consistency while adding in some really good proteins, and it's just easy to work with, and I think it also adds really good flavor as well. I'm spending a lot of time mixing and whisking the Greek yogurt into the eggs because I don't want any clumps in there. If you don't want to do this by hand, you can just use either a blender or a food processor or something that actually probably would be a lot easier, but everybody was asleep at this time, so I didn't want to make a lot of noise, and the less dishes I have to clean, the better. I'm giving my veggies a stir. It looks like they're all done, so I'm going to go ahead and turn off the heat and set them aside while I remove my pie crust. And then I'm going to add them to the bottom of the quiche before I add in my egg mixture. Now, I don't like to add these to the egg or add the egg before because it just turns into kind of a sloppy, drippy mess. I find if I add them now and then add the egg, it's a lot cleaner. And here's what it looks like with the egg mixture added on top. I baked this for another 30 to 40 minutes, just depending. Once it didn't jiggle, I pulled it out, and here is the end result. So there's no cheese in this quiche. It is a potato crust with ham, bell peppers, onions, 10 eggs, and 3 large scoops of Greek yogurt. Baked it. It was delicious. I couldn't wait until Monday morning. I had to try a bite. As soon as it came out of the oven, I topped it with some hot sauce, and it was delicious.
Have a lovely day. Make sure to like and subscribe to Megan's channel. Chicken Jockey! I don't wanna be without you. This is something that I know for sure. It's just something about you. I just want more. Tell me what you wanna do right now. Tell me what you wanna do tonight. I really don't care as long as I'm with you. Hey, now look into my eyes. You can use them as a mirror, baby. You're my ticket to paradise. Hey, now everything's alright. We've been longing for each other, and it feels like I'm on cloud nine. Look into my eyes, you can use them as a mirror. You're my ticket to paradise. Hey, now look into my eyes, you can use them as a mirror, baby. You're my ticket to paradise. Hey, now everything's alright. We've been longing for each other, and it feels like I'm on cloud nine. Falling down, and I don't know how I would do without you. Yeah, you pull me up when I'm falling down. Yeah, you pull me up when I'm falling down, and I don't know how I would do without you. Yeah, you pull me up when I'm falling down. Yeah, it feels like I'm on cloud nine.